Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Illusion of Gaia. In the last part we finished off Mu, finally, and now we're here in the Angel Village. And I swear this dialogue actually does impact something later. You gotta want to answer Lance's first answer, first question with the first answer, and then when he asks you what he wants to make for Lily's 15th birthday party, make a necklace. I think that impacts something. That's what all the guides I look at say for this, yeah. And everyone here just makes weirdly moot points. Especially Eric. The sun is bright. No! Actually, well, first off, what we actually have to do is technically go looking for Kara. But, you will actually find villagers once you go down this place, and as you can see, they are tall. I think they're actually properly proportioned, too. And these guys, if you talk to all of them, they actually do tell a fairly grim story. Apparently they're, well, first off, they're descendants of Mu, of the people of Mu. And they cannot stay outside for too long, otherwise the sunlight essentially kills them. And there are some really grim stories about them, and especially on the internet and, well, just talking to them. Well, mostly just talking to them, really. You can just find the scripts online, though. By the way, red jewel in that fountain. So, if you have the time and you're playing along, talk to all of them. You can actually learn some interesting stuff. Hey, Jim! Why do you always beat me to these places? And we collected over 20 jewels, and now we get the Psycho Dash upgrade, so now that'll do much more damage. And my god, it's useful. What is that person doing to that statue? Oh wait, no, he or she is sculpting it, that's right. Anyway, our goal is actually through this door, but we're looking for the painter Ishtar, because apparently Kara went in this cave before us, or something like that. But, welcome to Ishtar's cave. It's a dungeon, yes, but compared to the previous three we went into in a row, it's a cakewalk. The bats aren't too bad, they usually take about 2 hits. Blue skeletons are actually a lot like the ones you could fight in the, underground prison back in the castle, or the ones that had infinite HP back at the Seaside Palace. And there's 2 other enemies, but we won't run into them for a while. All I'll say about this place is that it is kind of maze-like. But if you just progress onward, if you just bide your time, you should find it where you're supposed to go, no problem. Although, one thing this dungeon does that I really like is that it's maze-like, but at the same time, not all the doors are completely visible. You have to pay attention to some background objects, like the fire. We'll see an instance of that momentarily, actually. But killing all the enemies in this area gives you the strength upgrade. Now, this is actually a rather interesting room. It's fairly simple, but it's interesting at the same time. There's a total of 5 doors, including the one you entered from. Oh, here's the new one, the new enemy. I think I just call them carnivore lizards. If you psycho slide into them, they go down in 1 shot. So I recommend doing that. I don't think they really have much of an attack, though. I think they just have touch damage. Which is a lot of damage, by the way. What you're gonna want to do, though, is to get all the enemies, you're gonna want to head down the second door. And then, well, pretty much just do what I do. But actually, I just remembered, one thing I forgot to mention last part during the vampire fight against Jack and Sylvana, they have an attack they never got to show off. And it only happens when they're both alive. What they do is that they go around towards the center of the arena, open half their capes up, and start firing a giant energy ball. And do not let that hit you, whatever you do, because if it does, that's going to take around half your health, I think. Maybe all of it, depending on how many health upgrades you've gotten. Not really much else to say until we encounter the last new enemy, or get into a certain area, which I know is going to be coming up eventually. Although once you defeat all the enemies in this place, well, first off, what I'm doing right here is I'm trying to break the wall, but I was actually thinking ahead just slightly. Because, I brought it up when we first got the Psycho Dash, but you can break walls with it. And a lot of the times you'll be able to tell that you can do that because there is, because your hair is blowing, but your hair is always blowing in this place. Anyway, coming up right here is what I was talking about. Well, actually no, yet again, I'm thinking ahead. I'm gonna do that a lot in this dungeon, and probably the next one as well. Because, I'm more familiar with the beginning of the game than I am towards the end of it. And, as far as I'm aware, by the way, the HP orbs will only drop when you're low on HP. Okay, the dark room. This place is interesting. There's a total of, I think, 6 or 9, I think it's 6, cave bats in here. And you cannot see them until they're actually attacking you. However, if you just proceed with caution, you should be able to take them out no problem. And after killing all of them, you get a strength upgrade. There's no enemies in this room, but this is actually the beginning of what I was talking about, that you should pay attention to the background objects, like the fire here. Notice how those two flames on screen are pointing in opposite directions. For those who are familiar with the way that caves work, know that means that there's a source of wind somewhere in between them. Like so. And the next new enemy here, in fact the final one in this dungeon, the Skull Turret. They're fairly similar to the four-faced things we fought back at the Incan Ruins. They fire fire in certain directions. However, if you Psycho Dash into them, they won't die from one hit, but you'll do 2 hits against them anyway, so it will kill them. So make sure to do that. Got a defense upgrade from all those enemies. And you're gonna want to Psycho Slide through this hole if you're going for 100%, because, well, there's a red gem in here. And the wind tunnel. This place is interesting. As you can see, I am being constantly pushed backwards and I have to fight against the current. If you Psycho Slide, however, you will go so fast that it doesn't really matter anyway. And those are the only 2 enemies in this area. And this is the only room in the game like this, as far as I can remember, by the way. It's kind of pointless. Mind you, if you don't abuse the Psycho Slide, it will take forever, but that's about it. And also, you actually can take out all 3 of those turrets at once if you place yourself just correctly, like I think I shall momentarily. Yes, I do. Only one way to go from here. Hey, the music calmed down. This is another place where you have to actually look for the wind. The wind is in between the 4th and 5th statues, and then you have waterfalls. I don't think there's anything to the left, as far as I'm aware. Then again, I don't think I've actually ever checked. Got 3 doors here, and what's in room number 1? Okay, Kara's in a painting. Fantastic. What's in room number 2? A room with a red jewel. In terms of this dungeon, there's a total of 3 red gems in it, by the way. And what's in room number 3? A brand new car! No, a painter. This is this jar. Pretty much, if we solve all of his riddles, he'll give us Kara back. And this is actually one of my favorite sections of the game, because it's actually really interesting. Pretty much we need to memorize the way the room looks, leave, and enter the next room, which is a very similar room, except there is one thing different. Like, if you were paying attention, you notice that this pot had changed color. You have to do this a total of 4 times. Some are more obvious than others. Like, let's see, I've got 2 paintings, 2 pots, a table, and rock. It's nothing too bad. And if we look here, the pots have once again changed color. They're not all this easy. Like, the final 2 did stump me on my first playthrough for about 5 minutes. Ooh, a chest! What's in it? Ah, weed. And what's this? Nothing's changed. Well, since it's a chest, the contents have actually changed. In this case, it's the third red jewel. That is clever. And so is the next one, though this one stumped me the longer out of the two. Alrighty, this room has barely no landmarks. That's gonna be fun, right? Well, let's go find out what's different. What the? Nothing looks different at all. Except, I don't remember the wind being blown in here before. That is really clever. Count yourself as an object. Well done there, Enix. And whoever developed the game. Was it Quintet? I forget. I know Quintet did ActRaiser. And what the... Dude, you're in a painting! And in here, we found magic dust. Wow, nah, I'm not gonna make another drug joke. I already made the weed one earlier. That's my quota for the year. Pretty much, we sprinkle that on the painting, and kiss the painting, and then we'll get Kara back, and now he's gonna become one. Good luck being found down here, dude. And then toxin painting. As lonely as that sounds, Kara, please return to your original form. And we gently kiss the picture of Kara. Oh god, the shippers shall run wild, although I think this is technically confirmed. And she's back. Well, sorry for being so selfish. Kara, you make me so mad. You're not the only person on this journey. Not gonna read that. Don't want to hurt your ears too badly. I don't know what I'm doing myself. When I was in the castle, I could have anything I wanted. But I was completely person dirt. Naturally, it's a mistake to think that you can control everything. No. When I'm far away, I feel close to it. When I'm close, I feel far away. I realize that now. It's alright if you don't understand. I'll never forget what happened today. Okay then. And everyone's glad that she's back, though at the same time simultaneously scolding her. The rule of anime and JRPGs. And TV in general, really. And he thinks that the floating city is about... And Neil is apparently talking about a floating city that's 3 days south. So, let's talk to him and head on over there. I think it's very hot in the floating city. Everyone be careful not to get heat stroke. And the floating city that we're going to, it's called Watermia, or Watermia. I'm just gonna call it Watermia. It's a city that's on rafts. And... wasn't there a Pokemon town like that in Gen 3? I can't remember what it's called. If you remember in the comments, go ahead and tell me. Because I could swear that was one in Gen 3. Keep in mind, Gen 3 is the only one I've never beaten. Even though I own all 3 original Game Boy Advance cards, and by the time this comes out, the 3DS versions will be out. Booyah. But anyway, welcome to Watermia. We went to the Water City, Watermia. A beautiful town with houses built on rafts. The townspeople have kindly put us up at the house of young Luke Skywalker. I mean just Luke. This is Luke's house. He's a lovable young fisherman. I'm going on a long fishing journey. You can use my house while I'm gone. And you can talk to your friends here, but it really doesn't make a difference. Now, one thing that's not... Well, first off, what we have to do is outside of town, but if you check behind the house, you can find Kara's diary. And this is where her character gets a bit juicy. Because apparently, she thinks she's changed, and is thinking about someone else. I wonder who... Yeah, if you can't tell at this point, she's kind of falling for Will. Though, mind you, he's about as... No, he's nowhere near as flat as Mario as a character, but he is still kind of bland. Anyway, there's 2 red jewels to get at this point in the town, and that's one right here. And another one which is in this gambling house right here. Which has Japanese characters on its sign for some reason. And there it is. And gems also right here, so make sure you bring them in while you can. I don't think I've missed a single red jewel, so if you have and you don't have, if you're at this point and you have more than 29, that means I probably missed one, but I don't think I have. Anyway, if you were paying attention back in like the 3 seconds we were in Luke's house, you might have noticed that Lance is missing. Well, let's go and find him, because we're kind of required to. He's in this house right here. Hey, Lance, how you doing? Will, do you recognize this person? He's my father. Didn't he die? I guess not. I went on an expedition with Ullman. It was scary but fun. He seems to have lost his memory. I finally met my lost father, but... well, that's just depressing. Well, wait. I'll go too. I'm preparing Lily's birthday party. I want to finish by dark. Let's go to our room. Well, this just got dark. Alrighty then. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play Illusion of Gaia, we'll be heading back into Luke's house to prepare for Lily's birthday party. See you guys then. I almost said the wrong thing there.